Did you know there are 25 prophets in Islam who changed the world with their faith, miracles, and wisdom? From Adam, the first human, to Muhammad, the final messenger. Each prophet's story is filled with lessons that can still guide us today. But do you truly know what happened when Noah built the ark, or how Ibrahim walked through fire unharmed? In this video, we'll reveal the powerful and life-changing stories of these 25 prophets. The first prophet is Adam, the father of all humanity. Imagine being the very first human, created by Allah himself from clay. But Adam wasn't just brought to life. He was given knowledge and wisdom beyond comprehension. Yet, his journey wasn't without its challenges. He lived in paradise, surrounded by bliss, until one fateful moment when Shaytan deceived him. That single mistake led him to be sent down to earth. But here's the lesson. Adam's story isn't just about a fall, it's about redemption. Through sincere repentance, he found his way back to Allah, showing us that forgiveness is always within reach no matter how far we stray. The second prophet is Idris, a man whose wisdom was beyond his time. Idris was not just any prophet. He was the first to write with a pen, teaching his people to record knowledge and wisdom. But here's the twist. Idris didn't just write. He transformed the lives of his people with the power of learning. He was a man so righteous and devoted that Allah granted him an honor unlike any other. He was raised to a high place, beyond the reach of ordinary men. Next, we have Noah, better known to many as Noah, the resilient messenger who preached for nearly 1,000 years. For centuries, he warned his people about a great flood, urging them to turn back to Allah. But they mocked him, laughed in his face, and turned away. Yet, Noah never gave up. When the moment of truth arrived, the skies poured down, and the earth burst with water. Only those who believed boarded the ark he built with his own hands. As the world drowned around them, Noah's unwavering faith became the lifeline for the believers. Now, let's turn to Hud, a prophet sent to the mighty people of Ad. These were no ordinary people. They were skilled, powerful builders who thought their strength made them invincible. But they had a flaw. Their arrogance made them forget Allah. Hud stood alone, warning them to abandon their pride and idol worship. But they dismissed him, scoffing at the idea that they could ever face destruction. Yet, when the sky darkened and the winds began to howl, it was too late. A fierce storm wiped out everything they had built. Let's move on to Salih, the prophet sent to the people of Thamud. These were craftsmen so skilled they carved entire homes into mountains. But with their talent came arrogance, and they demanded a miracle from Salih to prove Allah's power. So by Allah's will, a magnificent she-camel emerged from solid rock, a living sign. But instead of embracing the miracle, they conspired and killed the camel. This act sealed their fate. A terrifying earthquake shook their lands, reducing their grand homes to rubble. Salih's story teaches us that signs and miracles mean nothing if our hearts remain hard and ungrateful. Here comes Ibrahim, the sixth prophet, whose unwavering faith defied the odds. From a young age, Ibrahim questioned his people's worship of lifeless idols. To prove their foolishness, he destroyed the idols, leaving only the biggest one standing, and challenged them to ask it who broke the others. Furious, they threw him into a raging fire, but Allah commanded the fire to be cool and safe for Ibrahim. He walked out unharmed, leaving everyone in shock. Later, he was tested with the ultimate sacrifice, his own beloved son Ismail. Yet, he submitted to Allah's command without hesitation. Next up, we have Lut, the seventh prophet, whose mission was unlike any other. Sent to the people of Sodom, Lut faced a community drowning in sin and corruption. He warned them day and night to abandon their immoral ways, but they mocked him and ignored his pleas. The situation became so dire that Allah sent angels to warn Lut of an impending disaster. Before dawn, as he and his family fled, the skies unleashed a rain of stones, wiping out the sinful city. But even then, his own wife turned back, clinging to the past, and was destroyed along with them. Now we turn to Ismail, the eighth prophet, whose story is one of profound obedience and sacrifice. Born to Prophet Ibrahim and Hajar, Ismail was destined for a test that would echo through history. When he was just a boy, his father, Ibrahim, saw a vision from Allah commanding him to sacrifice his beloved son. Without hesitation, Ismail, brave beyond his years, encouraged his father to fulfill Allah's command. Just as the blade was about to strike, a miracle happened. Allah replaced Ismail with a ram, sparing his life. This act of ultimate submission became the foundation for the annual Hajj ritual. Let's dive into the story of Ishaq, the ninth prophet, who was the blessed son of Ibrahim and Sarah. Born to them in their old age, Ishaq was a miracle, a gift from Allah to a couple who had almost lost hope of having children. From a young age, Ishaq was known for his piety and wisdom, continuing the legacy of his father, Ibrahim. He was a pillar of faith, guiding his people towards the path of righteousness. Ishaq's life was filled with blessings, and his descendants would go on to become great leaders and prophets, forming a lineage that carried the light of guidance for generations. His story is a testament to the boundless mercy of Allah and the rewards of unwavering faith and patience. Now we come to Yaqub, the 10th prophet, known for his deep patience and unwavering faith. Also called Israel, Yaqub was the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. His life was marked by trials, especially when he was separated from his beloved son, Yusuf, whom he thought was lost forever. Despite years of heartbreak and uncertainty, Yaqub never lost hope in Allah's mercy. He spent countless nights in prayer, his eyes swollen with tears, yet his faith remained unshaken. In the end, his trust was rewarded when he was miraculously reunited with Yusuf. Next in line is Yusuf, the 11th prophet, whose life was a journey from the depths of despair to the heights of honor. As a young boy, Yusuf was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a dark well, and left to die. But Allah had a plan. Rescued and sold into slavery in Egypt, Yusuf faced even more trials, including false accusations that led to imprisonment. Yet, through every hardship, he remained steadfast in his faith. Eventually, his gift of interpreting dreams brought him out of prison and into the palace, where he became a trusted advisor to the king. Now we arrive at Shu'ayb, the 12th prophet, known as the eloquent speaker sent to the people of Madian. This was a prosperous community, skilled in trade but corrupted by greed and dishonesty. Shu'ayb's mission was to call them back to fairness and integrity, urging them to abandon their deceitful practices. But instead of heeding his message, they mocked him, refusing to change their ways. Despite their rejection, Shu'ayb remained patient, warning them of the consequences to come. Eventually, the very earth beneath them shook, wiping out those who refused to listen. Shu'ayb's story reminds us that wealth and success mean nothing if they are built on corruption. True prosperity is rooted in faith and honesty. Let's turn to Ayyub, the 13th prophet, whose story is a testament to patience beyond imagination. Ayyub was blessed with immense wealth, a loving family, and good health. But all of it was taken away in the blink of an eye. His wealth vanished, his children were lost, and his health deteriorated until he was left with nothing. Yet, even in the depths of suffering, Ayyub never wavered in his devotion. He never complained. Instead, he turned to Allah with unwavering faith, whispering prayers of gratitude even in the darkest moments. Finally, after years of enduring relentless hardship, Allah rewarded Ayyub by restoring everything he had lost, and even more. Now we move to Dhul-Kifl, the 14th prophet, a man whose name means possessor of responsibility. Unlike many other prophets, we know little about the details of his life, but what we do know is remarkable. Dhul-Kifl was chosen for his unwavering dedication to justice and his incredible patience. He stood firm in his duties, ensuring fairness for all, even when others faltered. Despite facing tremendous pressure, he never abandoned his commitment to righteousness. His story, though less known, teaches us a vital lesson. You don't need fame or grand miracles to be great in the eyes of Allah. Sometimes, steadfastness in the smallest of responsibilities can earn you the highest honor. Next, we encounter Musa, the 15th prophet, whose journey is one of the most captivating in history. Musa was born into a time of oppression, with Pharaoh determined to kill every newborn boy among the Israelites. But by Allah's will, baby Musa was placed in a basket and set adrift in the Nile, only to be found and raised in the palace of Pharaoh himself. Years later, he would return, not as a prince of Egypt, but as a prophet sent to challenge the very tyrant who raised him. With his staff that turned into a serpent, Musa faced down Pharaoh's sorcerers, parted the Red Sea, and led his people to freedom. His life is a testament to courage, faith, and the power of trusting in Allah, even when standing against the mightiest of rulers. Now let's shift to Harun, the 16th prophet, who played a vital role alongside his brother Musa. Harun was known for his eloquence, a gift that made him the perfect partner to support Musa's mission. When Musa was sent to confront the tyrannical Pharaoh, Harun stood by his side, delivering the message with a clarity that captivated even the most hardened hearts. But Harun's greatest challenge came when Musa was away on Mount Sinai. The people, in a moment of weakness, began worshipping a golden calf. Harun did everything he could to guide them back to the right path, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. His story teaches us that even when surrounded by chaos and temptation, standing firm in truth and patience is the ultimate test of faith. Next, we turn to Dawood, the 17th prophet, whose journey from a humble shepherd to a mighty king is nothing short of extraordinary. Dawood was not just known for his bravery, but also for his unwavering faith. As a young man, he faced the fearsome warrior Goliath, armed with nothing more than a sling and a few stones. With a single, well-aimed strike, he brought down the giant, winning the respect of his people. But Dawood's greatness didn't end on the battlefield. As a king, he ruled with unparalleled justice, and Allah blessed him with the divine psalms, the Zabur. His melodious voice could move hearts, and his devotion in prayer was unmatched. Dawood's story teaches us that true strength lies not just in physical might, but in the power of faith and righteousness. Let's now explore the story of Sulayman, the 18th prophet, known for his unmatched wisdom and extraordinary powers. Allah blessed Sulayman with control over the wind, the ability to speak to animals, and even command the jinn, beings of smokeless fire. But it was his wisdom and judgment that truly set him apart. Once, two women came to him, both claiming to be the mother of the same child. With brilliant insight, Sulayman devised a test to reveal the truth, showcasing not just his intelligence, but his deep understanding of human nature. As a ruler, he built a kingdom unlike any the world had seen, yet he remained humble, always recognizing that everything he had was by Allah's will. Sulayman's life teaches us that true power lies in using one's gifts wisely, with humility and justice. Let's shift our focus to Ilyas, the 19th prophet, whose unwavering mission was to call his people away from idol worship. The people of Ilyas had turned to worshiping the false god Baal, losing their way in a sea of corruption. Alone, but undeterred, Ilyas stood against the tide, urging them to abandon their idols and return to the worship of the one true God. His voice echoed through the mountains, a lone cry in a world consumed by darkness. But when his people refused to listen, Allah sent a severe drought as a wake-up call. Yet Ilyas remained steadfast, reminding his followers that even in the harshest times, turning back to Allah was the only path to mercy. Now we come to Ilyas, the 20th prophet, who continued the legacy of those who came before him. Known for his unwavering dedication, Ilyas was a beacon of guidance for his people during times of moral decline. He was blessed with wisdom and the power to perform miracles, carrying forward the mission of Ilyas. Ilyas was a leader who inspired hope in the hearts of those who had strayed far from the path. Even in the face of relentless opposition, he never gave up on his people, urging them to turn back to Allah. Let's turn to Yunus, the 21st prophet, whose story is one of redemption and divine mercy. Sent to the people of Nineveh, Yunus preached tirelessly for them to abandon their wicked ways. But when his people stubbornly rejected his message, he left in frustration, boarding a ship to escape his mission. Little did he know, this was only the beginning of his test. As the sea raged, Yunus was cast overboard and swallowed by a great fish. In the darkness of the belly of the whale, he realized his mistake and cried out to Allah with the heartfelt prayer, "There is no God but you. Glory be to you. I was indeed among the wrongdoers." In that moment of complete surrender, Allah forgave him and commanded the fish to release him. Now, let's delve into the story of Zachariah, the 22nd prophet, whose devotion to Allah was unwavering even in the face of despair. For years, Zachariah and his wife longed for a child, but as they grew old, hope seemed to fade. Yet Zachariah never gave up. His faith remained as strong as ever. One night, in the quiet of his prayers, he turned to Allah with a heartfelt plea, asking for a righteous heir to carry on his legacy. Despite his old age, Allah answered his prayer, granting him a son, Yahya, as a miracle. Next, we have Yahya, the 23rd prophet, who was known for his purity, wisdom, and unwavering devotion from a young age. Even as a child, Yahya was different. While other children played, he would be found immersed in prayer and reflection. Allah blessed him with wisdom beyond his years, and he grew up to be a fearless preacher, calling his people to repentance and righteousness. Yahya's words were like a beacon, guiding those who had lost their way. Yet, his devotion came at a cost. In a world corrupted by power, Yahya stood firm against injustice, which eventually led to his martyrdom. Now we come to Isa, the 24th prophet, whose miraculous birth and life were filled with divine signs. Born to the pure Maryam, without a father, Isa's entry into this world was nothing short of miraculous. From his very first moments, he spoke as an infant to defend his mother's honor, leaving those around him in awe. As he grew, Isa performed miracles by Allah's permission, healing the blind, curing the lepers, and even bringing the dead back to life. But his mission was more than just miracles. It was to guide his people back to the path of righteousness. Yet, many opposed him, conspiring to end his life. But Allah had a different plan. Isa was raised up to the heavens, escaping his enemies, and it is said he will return before the end times. Finally, we arrive at Muhammad, the 25th and final prophet, who was chosen to be the seal of all prophets. Born into the harsh deserts of Arabia, Muhammad grew up as an orphan, yet his character was unmatched, honest, compassionate, and wise beyond his years. At the age of 40, while meditating in the solitude of the cave of Hira, he received the first revelation from the angel Jibreel, marking the beginning of his prophethood. Despite facing relentless opposition, persecution, and hardship, Muhammad never wavered. He transformed a divided and corrupt society, uniting tribes under the banner of Islam with a message of peace, mercy, and justice. His life was the embodiment of patience, forgiveness, and unwavering faith in Allah. The story of Muhammad isn't just history, it's a living example, showing us how to lead a life of purpose, compassion, and devotion. He is the guide who lit a path for all of humanity, a beacon whose light will never fade. And there you have it, the incredible journey of the 25 prophets in Islam, each one leaving behind powerful lessons that continue to inspire us today. If these stories moved you, let us know your favorite prophet in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content like this. Your support means everything to us. See you in the next video.